Hey guys, we're here at Murder by the Books where we're going to do an interview with Amber Benson. She is here doing her book signing for Death's Daughter today, which is her new book. So check out the interview with her shortly.
Your brain kind of has to start going in that direction. I've always loved science fiction. I read a lot of it growing up. I love horror, like mysteries. So I guess I've always kind of been this way. And then, like I said, you start working on a TV show where you have lunch with vampires and you're sort of in trouble. But I feel like what's so wonderful about like the fantasy genre, which includes like horror and science fiction and dark fantasy, all of it put together, is that you can talk about really thoughtful subject matter without like getting on a soapbox and preaching at people. That was what was so wonderful about Buffy, I felt, was that, you know, you could deal with homosexuality and you don't even have to talk about it. You just, we were doing spells. We're doing some spells over here. And that was sort of like the placeholder for this burgeoning relationship between Willow and Tara. And I think, you know, Joss Whedon is a master of talking about important things without preaching at you. And I wanted to do that as well.
And welcome to bearpodcast. This is Ray, and we're here with Amber Benson, who is visiting Houston this week. And she is signing her new book that's out. She's also here doing a little sing-along tonight.
Yep.
Which I understand is one of your favorite Buffy episodes.
It is. I think it is my favorite of all.
So, Amber's here this week. She has released a new book called Death's Daughter. And tell us about that.
It's an urban fantasy book about a girl whose dad is Death. And Death is run like a corporation. And her father's the president and CEO. and she wants nothing to do with the family business. She just wants to be a normal girl. But when her dad is kidnapped, she has to go back and run the company. And it's all about how she doesn't really want to be part of the supernatural world, yet because of family ties, she's sort of drawn back in. And it's irreverent and silly, and my heroine is very flawed and it makes a lot of mistakes and does really dumb things sometimes and likes to look at cute boys.
Me and her have something in common there. So. And this is not your first foray into writing. You've got children's books, comic books, an animated series.
Yeah.
So you want to talk? What do you want to talk about on those?
Well, I've actually co-written 2 full-length novels with a guy named Christopher Golden. He and I wrote an animated show for the BBC called The Ghosts of Albion, and then Random House approached us about turning that into a novel. And so we ended up doing 2 of those based on that universe. And then my friend Sina and I are actually working on a children's book right now called The New Newbridge Academy. He's doing the illustrations, Sina Grace, and I'm doing the story, and that'll be coming out from Aladdin Books probably the end of next year.
Okay.
So yeah, so I've been trying to keep busy.
Yeah. You've been working on a few movies too with your acting career. So what would you like to tell us about that? What you got coming out?
Well, I just did a film with Michael Madsen that we shot in North Carolina called The Killing Jar, and that was really fun because he's awesome. And I kind of got to be a lot tougher than I normally am. Usually I play kind of the goody two-shoes or the kind of wimpy person, and this one I sort of got to be tough, and that was really, really fun. And then I did another film last year called Another Harvest Moon with Piper Laurie and Doris Roberts, and it takes place in an old folks home, and it's just a really beautiful film. I'm really proud of it. It just premiered at the Rhode Island Film Festival, and it'll be coming out hopefully next year. It's just a really thoughtful film.
Okay. And I understand that you've been co-directing
I have
Drones.
Yes.
With Adam.
Yes, with Adam Bush, my boyfriend, my partner.
Yeah.
And
how's it working with somebody you're in a relationship with?
It's hard at times because you know the other person very, very well, and so you feel comfortable bickering with them. Yeah. But because we have the same sensibility and we like the same things, I really feel like we were on the same page. So there wasn't a ton of like disagreement over what something should look like or how a scene should be acted. And then in the post process, which is all the editing and stuff, like we were on this, like it was basically like one person. Really, I'd be like, let's do it. He's like, I was just gonna say, let's do it like that. So I was really lucky. But I think that when you enjoy working with somebody and you guys are together, you obviously have things in common. So it made it very easy. But yeah, Drones is going to be really good. I'm really excited about it. It's an office comedy with alien undertones.
Okay.
So it's like if you made it like Office Space and Close Encounters of the Third Kind and Mad Men. That would be our film.
Okay. Okay. When is that supposed to come out?
Well, we're finishing post right now, and then probably going to some film festivals. But honestly, what we really want to do is just bring it right to the audience. Use the internet. That's sort of our that's what we would like to do, Adam and I.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. I think things are changing so much that having something on the theater screens doesn't guarantee that people will see it. But the internet, you reach just this huge audience very quickly.
Yes. Which is why we do what we do.
Exactly.
So, and let's see. And I understand that you have some bear stories.
I spent Comic-Con this year hanging out with my friend Sina Grace over with the bears in a little bear section of Comic-Con. And that was like the nicest place ever. But I have a bear story that I wasn't a part of, but that my boyfriend was, that was very cute. Now, I'll share that as well. When he was in New Orleans the last time, he was staying at this hotel. And they kept saying something about how there were bears upstairs. And my boyfriend didn't know anything about what a bear was. He's very naive and sweet. Although he's a little berry himself. Yes. A little berry hairy. But he and his friends went upstairs to the pool. And he got introduced to what bears are. He said the whole top of the hotel, the pool, they're playing water polo or water volleyball in the pool. And he's like, they're all these big guys. He's like, and I was like, is it like a football convention or what? You know. Then he realized they were bears. So very cute.
Was he there doing Southern Decadence?
Yeah, he was, exactly. He had no idea. He was working on a film, and he had no idea. But isn't that cute? His introduction was in a pool.
Okay. Well, thank you for being on the show with us.
Oh, thank you guys for having us.
Thanks, Swamp, for bringing you to town. The Southwestern Alternative Media Project. You have the Buffy sing-along tonight.
I do indeed. We're going to be singing in the green.
So, thank you guys for joining us, and check out Amber's book.
The young friends are heading out to LA.
I'm going to look in my wallet and see how much money's in there.
Did you spend it all on books?
No comment. I feel like it's the Wild West right now in the entertainment industry, and that goes for books, music, film, anything, even the art world. I feel like there used to be this pipeline that you would have to go through to get your stuff out there. There used to be this pipeline you would go through to get your stuff out there. You'd have to find an agent, or you'd have to get a gallery, or you'd have to get a distributor or a publisher. And I feel like with the advent of the internet, that middleman is being kind of excised out of the equation, so that like people like you and I can say, hey, I wrote a book, do you want to read it? Here it is. And access it that way. I think we're all still kind of inured in this world where you have to make it, you know, and I don't think you have to make it anymore. I think you can be creative and do really creative things and support yourself doing them, and never have a film distributed by a major motion picture company. You know, and I think for me, diversifying was a way of surviving, and also being creative, because as an actor, you're waiting for somebody else to give you a job. You know, you're like the pawn in someone else's chess game. I always said I don't want to sleep with Joss Whedon, I want to be Joss Whedon. I love Stephen King. I just reread The Shining. It's so good.
Awesome.
I was reading it on the plane. I got off the plane and I'm like, oh my God, something terrible is gonna happen now. We're little girls. They really didn't make an appearance in the book. No. But Neil Stephenson I love, Neil Gaiman, I love Charlene Harris. I'm a big Dostoevsky fan. I love Russian literature. I can never pronounce this. He wrote Master Margarita. Bulgakov. I can never say it right. Okay, forget it. Get that monkey